Sunday night, Davis finished with a season-high 50 points, while LeBron poured in 32, added 13 assists in the Lakers' 142-125 win over the Timberwolves. The 82 combined points by LeBron and AD are the most by a Lakers duo since Kobe Bryant and Pau Gasol. Remember those guys combined for 92 on February 2nd, 2009. 20-year-old Luka Doncic continues to establish himself as an elite player in the NBA. Sunday night, he finished with 27 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds, and the Mavs lost to the Kings. It was Doncic's 19th straight game with at least 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. That's passing Michael Jordan for the most consecutive such games since the NBA-ABA merger. How about this? Ole Miss hiring Lane Kiffin as their new head coach. Swagoo, Kiffin back in the SEC.
Kiffin back in the SEC. Going to be a really good 2-year run, man. Got to put points on the board. Ole Miss know that they can score. He's going to recruit well. And then Lane Kiffin is going to look for the premier job in college football. Nah, all seriousness, this is a great hire for Ole Miss. They needed a coach like this. They needed cachet. They needed to bring attention to the program. Lane Kiffin is back in the SEC. Everybody watch the hell out because he is a goon, and he's going to be a goon to everybody.
It's almost like you have a go.
Question, and Rex tries to answer it. Which two teams played in the last AFC Championship game that did not involve the Patriots?
True.
True.
I'm going to say true. The only time I've ever got one right, I said true.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to say Pittsburgh, Denver.
Pittsburgh, Denver.
Yep.
Guess what? You were in the game the last time it happened, Rex. It was the Jets and the Steelers in 2010.
Of course I was. I'm so good at this game.
New England has been in the AFC Championship 8 straight years.
That tells you how long ago it was. God.
Okay. Let's show you some of the struggles of the Patriots yesterday. The Patriots and Tom Brady looking to get back on track against the Chiefs. And all of these miscues, Dan Orlovsky, second quarter. Brady looking for Philip Dorsett.
Yeah, this is a miss by Philip Dorsett and Brady with communication, timing of a route, story of the game. Brady, we're going to see another one. Jacoby Myers, remember that name. A drop on third down, big for this Patriots offense.
Yes, I mean, Jacoby Myers dropping it was unfortunately a very common theme yesterday. Early fourth quarter, down 10. Brady for Myers. Again, this time he gets a flag.
Yeah, there's a flag here, but this is another drop. Tough catch, absolutely, but this is the NFL. This is another drop by, remember the name, Jacoby Myers for this offense. Now we see second and goal. Brady comes back. Here's another drop by Jacoby Myers. There's a theme here for this Patriots offense. That's 3 times drops from the quarterback.
And thus, on the play that ends the game on the fourth down, he doesn't go to Myers.
And there's a chance for him to throw this ball underneath to Jacoby Myers. He decides the only guy that I think is going to make this catch is Julian Edelman.
Knowing from experience is brought to you by Farmers Insurance, and I have a feeling I know where you're going here, Dan, after what we just saw. But how did Tom Brady's in-game experience impact his decision-making yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, everyone at home, pause. I'm aware of what I'm about to do, but we have to pay attention to what happened on that fourth down. I just showed you all those drops by Jacoby Myers for this Patriots offense. Now, listen, 4th and 3. Fourth quarter, there's a timeout. So you can throw the football wherever you want here. Now, the Chiefs are going to come out with this all-out pressure, and Brady sees it, and he's going to start communicating to Julian Edelman and his receivers. And what they're going to try and do is a play that you often see. Edelman's going to go up to the corner, and Jacoby Myers is going to come onto the shallow right here. Now, this is what is going on with this Patriots offense. I have talked for months that there's a lack of trust between quarterback and receiver. I just showed you those 3 drops by Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers is absolutely wide open on fourth down right here. The Honey Badger plays over the top. He's going over the top of this pick route. Tom Brady, the quarterback for 20 years who has thrown the ball to the right person, is staring right at Jacoby Myers, but will not throw that football, and instead throws to a covered Edelman, and Breeland's able to make that pass breakup. So I want to ask you this question. Is it the 42-year-old quarterback? Maybe he can't see anymore? Does the 42-year-old quarterback not know who to throw the football to anymore? Or maybe, just maybe, the 42-year-old quarterback is so tired of being disappointed by those around him that he's willing to throw to the wrong person because he knows that if I throw it to the right guy, it's going to be a drop.
Yeah, and based on many things, great work there, Dan. It was even remarkable that they were in the game at this point to have the chance to be able to even make that pass.
But that's the Patriots for 20 years have been notorious to getting to the moment, and then the quarterback knows, I trust you, I've seen you make this play, and I'll go to you.
Yeah.
And for him to pass up the right receiver to throw to the wrong guy is indicative of, I know you won't make that play.
So I mentioned there were other factors involved. Officials played a big factor in that game, but Greeny, that's not the only game where the officials had a big decider in it.
Yeah, the officials actually decided the game between the Jets and Dolphins yesterday. I was probably the only human being on planet Earth who was watching this. 3rd down and 17, the Jets down 2 in the final minute of the game. Again, it's 3rd and 17. Sam Darnold throws a pass for Vincent Smith that's incomplete. No flag on the field. But hold on, in the final 2 minutes, New York decides they want to look at it again, and they make that into defensive pass interference. Brian Flores rightfully looks like his head is going to explode, and candidly, I don't blame him, because it would set up, again, it's not even going to be close to a first down if the pass was complete. Instead, they decide to make that into interference, and it sets up Sam Ficken kicking the game winner for the Jets, 22-21, and Brian Flores was aggravated and had every reason to be. Here's what he said after.
Flo, what had you so upset there at the end of the game? Was it
lost the game?
Were you upset about the call against Needham, the defensive pass interference?
I was upset we lost the game.
What did you see on that play? Did you think you covered it fairly?
I'm not going to answer any questions about the officiating.
Let me clarify when I said in the highlight there, New York decided to look at it. I assume most people who watch football by now know in the final 2 minutes, those replays can be initiated from a command center in New York run by the head of officiating, Al Riveron. When we have had so many conversations this season about pass interference calls that coaches challenge that the officials wanted no part of overturning. There's not a human being on planet Earth who would have complained if they had done nothing there. Were you surprised they did what they did yesterday?
Super surprised, G. And look, this is one of the culminations of the rule. This is that particular play is what everybody was concerned about after what went down with the Saints in the NFC Championship. It's a result of overthinking things and not letting actual football play out at times. Like, we can get mad about officiating, and I'm with you, Rex. I'm more of a officials been missing calls forever. Like, I'm more of that guy. But with that being said, when you have this opportunity, and look, earlier this year, I gotta apologize to Brian Flores and the Miami. No, I thought they were tanking.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously they're not, because he almost went straight back to Brooklyn on these referees. But with that being said, you think about how this thing plays out. And I continue to say this, G. We can talk about losses. We can talk about players being mad, coaches being mad. These are livelihoods. Losing games costs you your livelihood with that particular organization.
Oh, no, absolutely. And this with Brian, I feel really bad about this. And you're right. I mean, Marcus, this team's competing their butts off. And whether they're trading away, they're trying to build for the future, I get it. But they're still trying to win these games. And for you to take this game away from them is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, look, this thing right here for them to, hey, no, you know what? We're going to give them this one. Wait a second. They can't make up their mind. Do they want to do a ticky-tack thing, which is what this would have been, or do they want to stop the horrendous call? And that's what it was supposed to be. Now what? We're changing in midstream? This was an awful thing. And Brian, unfortunately, this is going to cost you about $50,000. Trust me, I've been there. When you go after an official at the end of a game, maybe in his case 25, because he probably hadn't had the streak that I had. But he's right, and he'll give that thing grudgingly. His wife will have to pay it, and she'll be ticked off. But you know what? I love it, and I tell you what, your football team's going to love his reaction.
Listen, I have a couple of thoughts. One of them is, Dominic Foxworth said on this show, Brian Flores should get some votes for Coach of the Year, and the reality is he should.
No, he shouldn't.
That team plays every week like it's the Super Bowl.
So did my team.
Your organization didn't, in theory, quit on you, try to make you lose. They have. Let's not bury the lead here. The lead here is that is not what this rule was put in place to do, okay? They just decided yesterday to do something no one needed, no one wanted, no one asked for, and it is actually running contrary to the purpose of replay and the installation of this rule this season. That was an absolutely terrible decision, and there was no reason in the world it needed to be made. And I say that as a fan of the team that wound up winning.
That's a great point, and it's so obvious, but I harken back to the New England Patriots game. That call call to call N'Keal Harry out was an assumption.
Yeah.
You assumed he was out of bounds because clearly he was not. Now, I don't know if the white cleats helped him or not,
right.
But when you look at this situation, you reverse a call that should have stood.
If it came in the last 2 minutes, that would have been
Absolutely.
a touchdown. So this comes in the last 2 minutes. This was not a good day for NFL officiating. Laura, let's get up and go.
Let's do it. And Greeny, we start with the NBA.